We are back. Welcome to This is Rock and Roll. My name is Dennis Dion Nardone. And right now, our second guest, he is the producer of this show, This is Rock and Roll, and does a little background work with Bronxnet. Say hello to Vic Sabatini. Hello, Vic.
How you doing, Dennis?
And as we were just telling Jimmy, what a great show today.
Yeah.
This afternoon at the MGM Yonkers Casino there, and what a great show. And you sounded pretty good. The lead vocals there, were you happy with your performance today?
It was great. I mean, performing with these great musicians that we got in the band, I mean, all together makes it sound great.
Mm-hmm. And anything special that you like today? Besides the crowd dancing, you jumping out there, anything special? Any songs that really come out to you and say, man, that's really sounded good? Because we had the horns.
Yeah. No,
like Soul Man. I mean, when the horns come on with Soul Man, you got to go crazy.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much everything they did was, with the horns, everything sounds good. Mm-hmm. I mean, yeah, Barry White kind of favor that, but the crowd response was really, will really get you. They're dancing, having a good time. That's the main thing.
I asked Jimmy about, and you as well, because you were on the road there with those oldies groups, and the scene, the stage, the sound at the casino, and you're close to the action with the crowd. How's it feel with that? So they had good sound? You enjoy that sound?
Yeah, the sound engineers were great. I mean, that equipment is set perfectly, because they do it. They have entertainment every night of the week there. Yeah. So that thing is set. So as soon as you first kick it off, it sits right there, and everything sounds great.
Now, how's the Just Nuts band? Now, before that was Mixed Nuts band, right?
It was Mixed Nuts, and then before that, we were actually like a backup band, like the Coda band.
Yeah.
We would just back up Lee Andrews, the Marvelettes, Drifters. We just kind of did backup work for maybe 8 years.
So you're telling me the Mixed Nuts band backed up all these bands?
Yeah, well,
I know you were on the road with Al.
With Al
with the Marvelettes, Jive 5, Lee Andrews.
Right.
Al was with the Dubs.
Correct.
And but you didn't have the whole band. Well, it was different guys at the time.
Well, it was different guys. It would depend. They would tell us, we want horns this time, we want this. So each gig was.
How did it feel to work all week on a regular job, and then you had to jump in the car and drive out to Ohio or something like that, and then sleep in some hotel? How did you feel to be on the road a whole weekend, then come back, and then you got to go back to work?
Dennis, I was younger then.
Oh, you were younger. Talking about younger, let's go back to your younger days. You're from the Bronx, New York.
Correct.
Right? And you grew up in the Bronx. Well, originally you're from East Harlem.
Correct.
I know that about you.
Right.
Family moved to the Bronx.
Yes.
And then you went to Columbus High School?
That's right.
And how did you start guitar? Now, when I was back in my day, I watched Ed Sullivan and saw the Beatles. I said, man, I want to be one of those. And I went for lessons and played the guitar, but I didn't go as far as you did. And how did you get started? I
got started before the Beatles. I had a guitar instructor come into my house. My parents got him. And in all actuality, I was into the Ventures long before the Beatles came out. So I was playing Walk Don't Run, Wipeout, and Apache, and all those kind of songs. Yes, when the Beatles came out, that kind of put the cherry on the cake. Then I knew from that point on that there was no end. I was going to keep going with this. Now, when you were growing up in the Bronx, it was like the 60s was like the 50s, only thing the 50s, every corner had doo-wop groups. Right. When you were growing up, you guys had the bands, the instruments, almost on every block. And who had a band there, who had a band there. Then you guys, I'm sure, just like we did up in Westchester area, battle of band stuff. Right. And I think one group you had was pretty well known, the Rhythm Riders. The Rhythm Riders. We had Ronnie Rogers, who became like a pretty famous writer, songwriter. Eddie Rea. There was 5 guys in the group, and we kind of went from place to place, and there was a battle of the bands, and also Al, the drummer, had a group called the Castle Kings. Castle Kings. Right, and I remember doing the battle of the bands with Al back in the day.
Now, you played all the local high schools and all that stuff?
All the high schools. We did Lady of Solace, St. John Vianney, Holy Family, Mother Butler. All these high schools had dances there, and that kind of really cultivated the players that...
So you was a pretty good-looking guy playing the guitar up front. Did pretty well with the girls in the back in those days, too?
I would imagine.
You imagine?
I would imagine it was like that.
I know you play any other instruments?
I play bass guitar, I play drums, a little bit of keyboards. I think that's it, yeah.
All right, now my guest, Vic Sabatini, he's lead vocals, plays guitar for the Just Nuts band. Now let's talk about the Just Nuts Music School on Tremont Avenue, and if someone wants to learn an instrument.
Right, we started that about 10 years ago. It started off, I was actually working in a music store called Fort Schuyler, and he had been there for like 30 years. And he was getting ready to close up, and actually the people in the community didn't want to see it go. So me, Al, and Mark Doyle got together and kind of kept it going on Tremont Avenue. You know.
On Tremont Avenue, that's good.
Yeah.
And so let's go back to the ventures. And what got you just got interested into playing the music of the ventures, or Wipe Out and Walk Don't Run, all that, because it was good guitar work? And
well,
is that what got you interested in that?
I had a guitar teacher, John Cucci, and he was teaching me he started teaching me solfeggio, and it was sort of like classical kind of music, which, you know, I was young and I was trying to pick it up. And one day I remember coming home, and one of the older guys from the neighborhood came over and says, "Can you play that?" I says, "Yeah." And I was telling him the songs that I played, and he said, he pulled out an album cover of the Ventures. He said, "You think you can learn any of these songs on here?" He says, "If you can, you can come to the studio next week," that they had. So I went home, and they were the older guys, so if I could impress them, I went home and I learned pretty much every song on the album.
Wow. Now, and you use that same motto or deal with your kids now. Hey, if you could play this song, go home and practice this and come back, now you show me that you'll learn how to play guitar. Use that little... Now, if I remember, you got a pretty good piece of memorabilia. You showed me this album cover of a guy from Long Island that became a big, huge star. And I guess maybe that was his first group. And in fact, it doesn't say Billy, it says William.
Right.
And
Billy Joel.
Billy Joel.
Right.
And he was with this group on this album, and you guys worked together or something, or he played on his...
We actually opened up for the group called the Hassles back in, I think it was the late 60s sometime. And I mean, they weren't really famous yet. They were just coming up, and we opened up for them. And they had a song called You Got Me Humming. I mean, it made a little noise. I think it got on the top 10 at the time. And it wasn't until years later that I realized that it was Billy Joel's group.
Yeah. It's funny, very interesting. One of these days you're going to have to show him. He probably doesn't even know he has. All right, I'll tell you what we're going to do. Let's go to the video. Let's go to the monitor. Let's show you singing today at the MGM Empire Casino in Yonkers.
You on congas too?
I'm on congas. You get to see me. And Just Nuts Band performing at the casino this afternoon today. And of course, Vic on lead vocals. And let's go to the monitor. Let's take a watch. Just Nuts Band. back, and this is Rock and Roll. My name is Dennis Dion Nardone. My guest, Mr. Vic Sabatini, lead vocals, guitar player for the Just Nuts Band, and you just seen on a monitor Just Nuts Band performing today at the casino in Yonkers, New York. All right, Vic, here's what I want to do right now. I'm going to ask Al, our producer, to bring out guitar. Let's see, play a little Ventures tune, as we did this with Jim Fracassi earlier, and show the people that you can play a little.
You're welcome.
Let's see what you got there.
I could do it without Al.
Now, what kind of guitar is this anyway?
It's just
It looks a little old and beat up, but it still has a good sound.
It works.
It works. All right, let's go. All right, give me a little wipeout. All right, one more.
One more.
What can we go back to the 60s? Can you play a little House of Rising Sun? Wow, you really could play some Ventures.
Yes.
I was doubting you there for a second. I'm wondering.
Really?
All right, House of the Rising Sun. Can you play that one?
Dennis, go for it.
In New Orleans.
In New Orleans.
They go around with sun. Very good. All right. I'm impressed there. All right. My guest, Vic Sabatini. I think we got to go now.
Okay.
And once again, thank you so very much.
Thank you, Dennis.
And great show today. And with that, you have a website? Just Nuts has a website?
JustNutsMusic.net. And we have a lot of shows coming up together. We got your birthday bash, July 17th.
July 17th, mark it down now. Harrison, New York, downtown, 6:30 to 9:30. It's going to be a bash and a half. It's going to be a great, great show. We've got all kind of stars coming out.
Oh, my God, yeah. We got the orchestra. You got Tommy McDonald. You got Cadillac
Barbara Harris will be there from the Toys, and on and on and on. It's going to be a great day. Mark it down, July 17th. With that, thank you to our guests, Jimmy Fracassi, Vic Sabatini. Thank you to the Bronxnet and their staff, our producers, Vic and Al Balfury, and of course Tyrone Burkle, the Just Nuts Music School, we just mentioned that. My radio shows every Saturday and Sunday morning, 1460 a.m. I have a website, clubdennis911.net. And so thank you for tuning in to tonight's show. As we go out, I say God bless you, God bless the USA. And I look forward to another edition of This is Rock and Roll. My name is Dennis Dion Nardone. Have a great evening.
I see what you're doing out there. I see those moves you're making. I'm here to let you know, baby, because I'm the one. So my name is Vic, and I'm really slick. I really say I do them really quick. When I'm on the job, putting on the show, come on, hold out like another Rambo. Hey Al, I got an idea.